is located in the Boston area, and I'd like to welcome you all to our Enable Business Intelligence webinar. For the next 40 or 45 minutes, we're going to be giving you an overview of business intelligence, giving you a better understanding of how these solutions can empower your users to make an effective, informed decisions based on solid data and analysis. In turn, all users from the high-end analyst to the casual business user have access to the information they need with minimal dependence on IT resources and developers. With these powerful solutions, users throughout your company can access, format, analyze, navigate, and share information across the organization. At the end of our presentation, we will have a question and answer session. Please submit your questions using the question tabs on the right of your screen. All questions will be collected and answered at the end of the session. This webinar is being recorded and will be available later on yash.com. Just so we can get a sense of our audience, I have a couple of poll questions that I would like to start out with. You might see the first one already up. If we could kindly have you click on your answer, we'll give a few more seconds for everyone to answer. And one more question. So as we are going through that question, I'm happy to have with us today an impressive colleague who is a strategic thinker as well as technologist. Sriram Jayaraman is a senior technologist in our YASH organization. Shri has been involved with business objects at many levels and in varying capacities. He will be our main presenter for today's session and will walk you through each of the major points associated with the advantages of using business intelligence tools. I'll close the poll. Okay, with that, I'd like to pass the controls over to Sriram. Sriram, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John, and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thanks for making it to this webinar. And what this webinar is going to be focused is in a very powerful tool set called as the BusinessObjects Edge Business Intelligence series of products. So what we will be talking about is what are the problems or challenges faced in the industry, primarily the small and medium business, and how the BusinessObjects Edge series of products are actually going to help you in resolving these problems in your enterprise. So with that said, the agenda for this is going to be today. We will be having a high-level overview of the challenges which the small and medium business faces, and then for those challenges, how does BusinessObjects help your enterprise? This will include some demonstrations and as well as some visuals and screenshots, and as well as working dashboards which can show you how these challenges can be resolved in your enterprise. Then we will be talking about the Edge series of BusinessObjects products and what are each of these components involved or entailed and how it can help your enterprise. And finally, we will be talking about our partnership with BusinessObjects and the services which we offer at a strategic level of detail. And with that, we'll be open for questions for somewhere around 15 minutes, using which you can send us your questions which are specific to your need, and we will be more than happy to answer that as it is. So in the given economy and where we stand in the economy today, what does medium businesses want to do? And what you are seeing here is an illustration of a survey which has been considered by the IBM Mid-Markets Group, which is a market perspective for the year 2009. Most of the small and medium businesses today is focusing on rapidly growing their business, which is operationally focused, and they also have the ongoing burden of trying to plan and predict what lies ahead. So, for example, you need to also make sure that your today is protected, but also look forward to your future. Second is that you're most of the time focused on making your decisions based upon gut feel due to lack of visibility into the business, and most of the small and medium businesses run with pretty much minimal IT resources and budget. So the key premise of the medium business today in the enterprise is in order to do more with less is what is the goal. We want to grow our businesses continuously. We want to improve our operational efficiencies continuously and also achieve it with very less cost, very less investment, and very less dependency on IT by itself. There was this interesting survey which had been conducted by a company called as Bearing Point. And the question of the survey was, for business decision makers, how much of your business decisions which you make based upon gut feel and experience as opposed to that of one version of truth which is available in your enterprise. And the startling fact which was revealed in that is that almost 77% of the people in the world make their decisions based upon gut feel and experience and not opposed to that of using hard facts. Interesting, next piece of the question was that survey was that why is it that people don't make their decisions based upon experience and hard facts and based upon hard facts, but they make it based upon gut feel and experience? The reasons are quite simple. It takes business users a long time to find information. They are not convinced enough saying that the information is accurate. The information is quite hard to find. There is a dependency on technical know-how to access that information, and there is no obvious way to access that information, and there is no way to secure that information which is available for them, which is simplified for the business user and not for the IT. That is exactly where, in spite of this, that's exactly the reason why business intelligence ranks to be the topmost priority of CIOs in their business technology. This is based upon the 2009 Gartner Executive Program CIO survey which has been conducted, where we know that in spite of a downward economy and where people are not spending money, business intelligence becomes the top priority, second complemented by that of ERP, CRMs, and other. Why does this partnership work? Or rather, why does this partnership stay intact as it is? The reasons for that is quite simple. ERPs complement in enabling and automating your business processes. So when you have your business processes really automated, it captures information regarding your business which is available. But are you in a position to, using that information, put actionable intelligence on your business? The answer is no. So that's where business intelligence technologies actually adds a lot of value for the CIOs, where it transforms your information into actionable intelligence on either operational, strategic, or tactical basis in the enterprise. So let's talk about how does business objects as a software help your business across the value chain of the industry, and what does it offer for each group of those value chains in your industry. First is, who is this software targeted for? The answer is everyone in the value chain of your business is what this software is targeted for. We will be seeing demonstration of how. From a sales and marketing perspective, it helps you understand the profitability of customer segments. You can slice and dice based upon the regional data, which region is doing healthy business and which region needs to do much better. And it also gives you the visibility in order to understand who are the best performing salespersons in your organization and which most effective marketing plans in your organizations as well. From an operations perspective, it gives them a much better visibility into their supply chain. They know where does their inventory stand. They know whether the inventory is well planned to meet the demand vis-a-vis that of supply, such that they are not oversupplied or short supplied. From a manufacturing perspective, you know who is your best supplier or who is your best supplier who can perform for your sourcing needs, and you can also do the performance source carding. From a human resource perspective, it helps us in driving, one, I have a goal to hire so many number of people by the end of this year. Am I going to be in a position to do it or not do it? Or I have so much of budgets for a particular business unit to achieve hiring in this year. Am I going to exhaust those budgets or am I going to waste those budgets? Second, how much of good attrition and bad attrition which I have in my business is also something which I would like to understand. For finance people, it's a no-brainer that these set of tools become the bread and butter. They can use it for their financial metrics and facilitating financial reporting. They can use it for their analytics. They can use it for their budgeting, planning, as well as consolidation. From a customer and partner self-service perspective, it gives you the accurate and real visibility in terms of how satisfied are your customers along with you, and what is the opportunity or buying patterns of your customer, using which you can expect more business coming in from the same customer as compared to that of moving across the world. So let's talk about how each of these users are enabled, along with that of demonstration of the tools in itself. And please note that when I'm actually going to do my demonstration, I'm not going to get out of PowerPoint to open a new software to actually do this. These are business intelligence dashboards delivered using business objects, on the tools which you use day in and day out. You don't need to, in fact, use a separate tool set. You don't need to learn a separate tool sets. These are interactive dashboards delivered for the business users in the tools which they use daily, be it PowerPoint, be it Word, be it Excel, or for that matter, even be it browser in your intranet portal. These tools also integrate beautifully with portal software like SharePoint, and you can deliver these dashboards there as well. So what do we have here? We have a competitor analysis on how much did we do actuals versus the forecast on comparison with the competitor. We also have a region-wise breakup which is available on how much revenue each of these regions did, and then how much was the marketing spend in terms of actuals versus the forecast in the previous years, and how much we are planning to spend today. Now, as a sales user, I also want to do some amount of what-if analysis on, let's assume I'm looking at the USA region. My business has been approximately $56 million, and it's fairly a lion's share where it contributes to 26.17% of my revenues. For FY07, I don't have any projections. So what I want to do is, instead of a 0% growth, if that's the growth, I bet my sales manager is going to get fired from the company. He is looking at how much will be my numbers if I grow my business by approximately 10%. It stopped at 9, so I can grow this business to $62 million, and that still meets my forecast. And you can also see that how the marketing budgets behave in terms of actuals versus forecast. While this is an analysis which we have been seeing from a market presence perspective and a comparison of the market and how much can I grow my business perspective, let's also take a further view on how much is the share of the market which I will be achieving in terms of the forecast and the lion's share which is available on a region-to-region basis. So I can again further go ahead as Switzerland, which is having a significantly higher share than that of the US market, and I'm assuming because of the economic conditions and everything in the market today, we will not be able to grow at that rate, but still I'm assuming that we can grow at somewhere around 3% or 4%. And then I can further go back and map it to how the trends behave and how does the actuals versus the annual sales behave. And vis-a-vis, how does my marketing budgets behave for that particular region. So these are fairly detailed analytics which the users can do, which I know that most of our business users in our enterprise, and particularly sales guys, used to live and die with this data on an Excel spreadsheet and used to take hours of work in order to do it. But with these kind of dashboarding capability, probably they can do these activities in minutes, and that improves their productivity on a paramountal basis. Let's look at the finance user. For a finance user, he wants to know his consolidated statement of income and also compare his consolidated statement of income along with that of cost of sales, how it has been growing in my previous years, vis-a-vis that of the percentage of revenue which has been actually achieved. And what is the 12-month growth rate? What is the quarter-to-quarter growth rate? What is the year-to-date growth rate? And what is the comparison of each of these components? And I also want to do this comparison in terms of region. So what you are seeing is a multi-utility dashboard. When I look at my net revenues, I can go and actually look at my revenue performance by a region. So I can look at how Asia has done and what is the actual versus target. And as we all know, Asia is a growing market. We also see that the business in Asia is growing and emerging to be a much stronger basis. Let me also look at North America. Not so predictable. It has been growing and coming down over a period of time, and it has been happening that there is a significant amount of fluctuation. But having said that, the way the economy is recovering today and everything, we are also looking at the target going upwards for this year because we see a slight recovery towards the economy. Not sure John is going to agree with that on me, but that's what as a business plan which we are looking at. And on each of these components, each of my net revenues, each of my net expenses, we would be in a position to see across how it has been performing against my targeted goals and how it is performing. Whether it is healthy, it is red, it is green, or it is like kind of going to go green. All this is the kind of analysis which you can do as a CFO who is using his abilities and tools to do with his consolidated income dashboards. This is one other additional capability which we wanted to show across as a demonstration. While the last two were being delivered across to you on your PowerPoint, What we are also going to see here is that the capability of business objects to work with data which is other than that of data sources. Presumably, most of the users think that business objects can work with data which is available only from SAP after its acquisition. But what you're seeing here is a dashboard which works on top of Salesforce. So we have a Salesforce dashboard which is a unified view of the capabilities which Business Objects is going to offer for you. So in this dashboard, what we can do is that I can do a drill down of sales of all products in the month of July, in the quarter of July, August, and September across entire Europe. So now, right now, I'm seeing the Albania numbers. So I can go ahead and look at what is the numbers which is there on France, what is the numbers which is there on Spain, and what is the numbers which is happening on Sweden. Now, the red ones marked are the areas where we are behind our plan. And let me further go down and drill down which product is doing healthy and which product has been doing horribly bad, and also which are the months in which my numbers has just not been there in terms of the required goals and what we have achieved. That was the past quarter, but let me look at what is there which is available for me in the future quarter. There you go. I see a very little number of opportunities which are on prospecting or qualification stage, but there are a lot of cases which are coming towards that of a logical point of closure, which is a healthy sign looking into my pipeline and as well as how my pipeline is behaving at this point of time. So we know what are the cases. So you are in a position to drill down and look at which is the opportunity, which is the account, what stage is that particular opportunity in, and all this on a detailed basis, and how much is of each of these deal value available going to be. Okay? There is this next case of problem which is available for me. I know that there are so many number of cases which we are working towards closure, and that's actually going to increase my sales operations expenditure. Today, my sales operations expenditure is at 10%, with which the gross income based upon my projected pipeline available, I can make is $400,000. So I want to know how much of compromise I can make on my projected income, and assuming that I'm going to increase my sales cost from 10% to 15%. That's not really good news, because my expenditure is going high, but still for some reason my gross operating income seems to show the same thing. And my cost of revenue, I'm increasing from 8%, like to approximately doubling it to 15%. Actually, when I increase my cost of revenue along with that of my sales expenditure, there is not a sizable amount of difference in terms of the dollar which I am earning as gross income which is going in. It's approximately only close to $15,000 to $16,000. I don't see that to be a bad sign. So based upon this dashboard which is available on my CRM, I'm in a position to decide what kind of investments which I need to make in order to make sure that I come sure towards successful closure of the opportunities which are there in my Salesforce pipeline. So the previous two dashboards showed you the capability of using business objects along with that of different sources of data in order to do your projected income statements and have a visibility in terms of how your business is behaving from a finance as well as sales and a sales manager's perspective. Right now, I'm sitting across with that of, let me reset this dashboard to a little bit extent. We're assuming that I've been given a 7% sales target growth, and my cost of goods sold last year has been 45%, quite high. With that income, I'm making a net income of only close to that of $1 billion. Not necessarily too bad, not necessarily too great, but 45% of my cost of goods sold being 45% is not something which impresses me at all. I would want to reduce my cost of goods sold as a business from 45% to 35%. That gives me a good, healthy net income as it is. But again, as I told you, the goal of the small and medium business today is to do more with less. So I'm not looking at a 7% growth. No ways. That's not an acceptable number. What we are looking at is a growth rate of somewhere around 16%. This number actually looks healthy for me. So I can go back to my sales organization and say that I want to grow your business by 16% and want to reduce your cost of sales by 9%, and the net income which is projected for my next financial year is going to be approximately $1.7 billion is what we want to achieve. Obviously, we know that the sales guys are not going to be very happy about it, but that as a finance user, this is an analysis which we can do in order to get that kind of path. Furthermore, these are certain dashboards which we have in terms of comparing ourselves with competitors from a perspective of 3 different areas. We want to compare ourselves with our competitors based upon their income statement. What is the net income which is grossed by the industry in terms of billions, and where do we stand in terms of as an organization in itself. So we know that, okay, in terms of income, while most of the organizations have taken a beating, I know that company 5 and 4 is my key competitors, and I'm going close with them on company 2. And I also would want to know who is having the lion's share of business, how much of my share of the business is, how much is the competitor's share of businesses. The good sign is company 1's income statement is not great, but they still have a good amount of marketing share. So they are going to go in the decline, and we would be in a good position to capture a lion's share of that particular market. And also, we know that what is the market, the industry's growth rate vis-a-vis how much we have been doing our growth in terms of the last quarters. So this is the kind of competitive analysis which you can do with data vis-a-vis your competitors and head-to-head on each line item which is there in your income statement. The other dashboard which we wanted to show, and is primarily in the customers whom we have worked with, these are the chief supply chain officers are big fans of these dashboards because they want to look at the whole 9 yards of how is their supply chain performing in terms of different metrics across on this. So let's go ahead and look across on our warehousing metrics. What is my inventory accuracy? What is my inventory turns? And what is the defects which I have per million operations? This data is not a data which is available actually from one different source system. This is the data which we have consolidated across their inventory system running in a different ERP, their supply chain logistics system running in a different system, their financial systems running in actually a different ERP. So it's a whole 9 yard visibility which you have for your supply chain across different systems. So this is how we know the health of our warehousing. I know from seeing this as a supply chain officer that we need to do much, much better on our inventory accuracy. So you notice the red, green, and if there's no amber here, but there is an amber, which are the metrics or the successful metrics which is there in my organization which is actually going behind. So let's also have a look at that of how we are doing in terms of customer satisfaction. Not really well. We are delivering on time, but is our fulfillment rate and perfect order there in terms of its value, in terms of the performance definition? We are just there, but not as good as what we would like to be. So we are able to deliver on time, but we are not able to meet our goals in terms of the fill rate which we would want to meet in our supply chain. Financially, how we are performing. The cost of goods which we are sold as a percentage of revenue is soaring. It's on red. It's not something which is a measure which we are going to be happy about. So vis-a-vis in comparison to last year to this year, we are not very happy about it, and we are not very happy about the logistic cost which we are seeing. But our sales organization is doing a pretty good job on growing the sales. So the sales is being taken care of. I need to optimize my sourcing strategy. I need to optimize my shop floor strategy. I need to think about a different location for actually doing the supply chain activity. All this is available as a visible option from your supply chain dashboard. While that was for the supply chain, from a HR perspective, we can deliver dashboards of these capabilities, which talks about what is my target in terms of the headcount which we wanted to achieve, and have we achieved that particular target or not. And within the same dashboard, I can have different visualizations. I can look at it from a headcount perspective. I can look at it a year-till-date budget perspective. I can look at it from a satisfaction index perspective. I can drill down for different groups of business, and within different groups of business to different departments, and if possible, if it is required, we can also drill that down across to different divisions as well. Okay, next is that of let's talk about the not so favorable group of users within the business, which is called as the IT. What happens is that when we implement business intelligence solutions, in many occasions, users come back to the business and keep asking for, hey, this report is not good enough. I need more set of reports to be developed. I need to be in a position to author my own report, or I need this factual data. All these are challenges which comes back to the IT. And with IT in the medium business with their limited resources, is not in a position to deliver what the business users actually need on time, on budget, and that leads to IT's dissatisfaction. So let's think about it. What if I give the user a tool using which I just model the information available in my enterprise, publish it, and they can do whatever kind of reporting and deliver it across for themselves. So this is where we wanted to illustrate the capabilities of the BusinessObjects Web Intelligence suite of products. So I'm going to log in right now. As a BusinessObjects Web Intelligence user. Okay. Now this is what you call as the InfoView portal from BusinessObjects, using which a user would be in a position to go ahead and access whatever is the set of reports which he wants to view, which is already built, or he would want to be in a position to create his own set of reports. We will be showing two portions of this functionality at this point of time. One is what you can see here as the BusinessObjects Explorer functionality, where just like the way you search across documents in your environment, you will also be in a position to search across reports which are available in your environment on a specific basis. So I know that I have created a drill down report of my business in terms of store performance of the products and how much of sales is happening on stores, but I don't know the name and with which I saved it in the past. So I simply go ahead and search for a drill down report, and what you're seeing here is a formatted web intelligence report for drill down. What is web intelligence is nothing but a self-serviceable, user-centric tool using which users can view, edit, and work with their reports, and also do their slicing and dicing of data in order to look at the information the way they want to. So what you're seeing here is overall city, state, and city sales across different regions, and how has the numbers rolled up from a quarter-to-quarter basis to that of the year. And we know from on this basis what we have seen, that New York has been doing pretty good, and the stores in New York has been doing pretty good. So I would want to drill down. I know that there are two stores which are available in New York. I would want to further drill down and look at where is my actual fact data coming in from. Which stores in New York are doing good, and what product in New York are doing good for that matter. So in the graph, not even in the data, in the graph I go ahead and search for New York, and I'm looking at what is happening in New York as a state. As I know that there are only 2 stores in New York, and I know that one store which is there in the city is actually performing much better. So on the table, I'm actually drilling down, sorry guys. In the table, I'm actually drilling down to that of each of these stores, which store is doing better and which store is not doing better. And from there, I can again go ahead and roll up and look at that information. While this gave me a view of the geographic sales in the product and top 10 categories, and what I would want to know is what are the different categories of sale of products which has been done, and what are the top 10 categories in which the sales has been done. So I know, okay, the Texas is the top performing state, and T-shirts are the top 4 performing products. So within T-shirts, what is that which is doing really well? Will I be in a position to drill down? Yes. So you know that the sweat T-shirts and sweaters have been doing well. Obviously, it's fall, but that we expect these products to be doing well on a real-time basis. So while these are reports which I created in the past and worked with it, I might also have a need to on-the-fly create a report from the startup. And let's look at how complex or how simple it is in order to actually do that. So I go ahead, and what you have is what we call as the BusinessObjects Business Web Intelligence Document Editor, which is actually a report writing tool for which the user can use their own tool sets in order to do their whatever kind of reports which they would want to work with. So the list which you are seeing here is, as I defined to you, what BusinessObjects calls as models or universes which we can get it published for you. So with this universe, the users don't need to write SQL queries. The users don't need to write complex queries. They don't need to know what is the fact table or what is the measurements or dimensions. All that I go ahead and do is select which is the universe which I would want to work with. And then Well, in the meantime, while it comes across, we can go ahead and edit our report, add the measures and dimensions, slice and dice it, and work with the way you can want to. And you can also author the reports and finally decide who is given the access or the permissions in order to view these reports. So there you go. With this, we have the report authoring tool available for us. So what we want to do is that I would want to know by the year and the quarter, as well as the product category, how much is my sales revenue? There you go. With this, we are ready with the setup of report. And in this report, just like the way you saw in the previous report, I want to add the capability to drill down and slice and dice on this particular piece of data. All that I do is I select on this option to drill, with which I can select on a category to drill up as well as drill down. I can select on the quarter, and in order to drill down to the months and the numbers on the month. And furthermore, I can filter it. Also, we had the filter capability by a product, so we can filter it on a particular product and have a look into that as well. So this is all it takes for a user to generate his own report and slice and dice with those reports by themselves. So why this tool becomes an effective need for your business, and primarily the small and medium businesses. We have traditionally small and medium businesses has a lot of transactional applications. So on these transactional applications, what happens is that you have cumbersome form-based data, you have the you lack the flexibility, they only have the predefined set of reports which they deliver along with it, and there is nothing more which it has got to offer for you. So of which people then go to personally mine, as well as many of these users' most favorite tool in order to do their analytics. So they extract the data out of this. Somebody works manually on that particular data, cleans it and offers to you. Then people start working with MS Office tools. Great tools. Excel is very powerful. We love Excel. There is no doubts about it. But the challenge is there is no abilities to capture workflows and approvals. It is difficult to work with structured data and dependencies. It is not integrated by default with your budgeting and HR systems. Unless otherwise you use a software like, let's say, SharePoint, you don't have the ability to do a lot of version control and audit issues out of these documents. And the favorite means of collaboration becomes email. And that's what you live with. So what small and medium business want is all these capabilities. Number one, they need to do more with less, so lower price. Make the products more easier to embed and work with tools like Excel, because I know that my finance users are not going to work with any other tool other than Excel because they are most comfortable with it. So it should be friendly enough to work with other tools which they use day in and day out. Make it more user-friendly, and it used to be simple in order to educate organizations on how it can benefit them, and the tool should be helpful in order to generate a faster management buy-in, and the data sources are never going to be one. There is going to be more than one data sources which it can work across and deliver for it. That's exactly what the BusinessObjects Edge series of products cater for. So what does the BusinessObjects Edge series offer? At the startup of the product capability, we have the BusinessObjects Edge Business Intelligence Standard Suite of products. This suite of products is what we can call as the information delivery platform for BusinessObjects. So let's assume I need ad hoc reporting capability, I need great dashboards and visualizations, I need to integrate with Office, I should be in a position to schedule and publish, I should be in a position to, just like the way I showed you, search across reports, and I need this to be working integrated with SAP or SharePoint or Oracle, PeopleSoft, People or JD Edwards. As an information delivery platform, this is all you need. You can start with this. But my problem gets a little bit more complicated. What we want to do is that we are not going to be in a position to rely upon one data source. We want to rely upon more than one data source and work across with them and get it across together. That's where tools like the graphical ETL tools or for extracting, transforming, and loading that data, do impact analysis on data, and maintain metadata or data about data using data lineage are offered using the Business Objects Intelligence with data integration. Step further, the first step helps you in integrating data, but second step is that while I'm integrating the data, I need different sources to clean up the data, validate the data, and let's assume it's a CRM data or a database which you have bought from a different source. I want to also validate the address data which is available from a global address perspective. Those capabilities are offered with Business Objects, Business Intelligence with data integration and data management. These set of tools completes your need practically for both IT and all lines of business within your organization. But if you want something which is specifically tailored for your finance or plan owners of your business, that's where the Business Objects Edge planning and consolidation tool helps you in operations. What it offers you is that it helps you in doing your financial and operational planning. It helps you in doing budgeting and forecasting and modeling, and it works you in doing your statutory reporting and financial consolidation. If you want to build strategies for your enterprise with a scorecarding approach, that's where the SAP Business Objects Edge strategy management tool offers you a lot of value. So it's so well componentized. What you can do is you can start simple with your standard edition of Business Objects to address all these capabilities, and you can expand it furthermore to the rest of the capabilities as well. So the data management platform, what it offers is that of a combination of both a data integration ability, which has its development user interface and a lot of administration and connector capabilities as well. So for example, if you need to connect across with JD Edwards, if you want to connect across with SQL databases, you need to connect with SharePoint lists, you need to connect with Excel spreadsheets, flat files. This can help you in bringing all these capabilities together. The data quality component helps you in cleansing the data, validating the data, and making sure it's complete, and then deliver it for your tools. So what it offers is the ability to access, transform, improve, and deliver. So it's not just what the industry calls as extract, transform, and load. We call it ATID, which is like access, transform, improve, and deliver it for your business users. So it does more than that of just simply the extract, transform, load in combination. The planning and consolidation series is primarily focused or targeted more at finance users. And as you see in this user illustration, this tool works beautifully integrated with Excel. We know that most of the business plans or finance users, their favorite tool to work with is Excel. So what is done with this particular tool is that the planning and consolidation tool can help actually create your forecast in Excel, also do a risk analysis on that particular forecast, leverage your tools which you use day in and day out, and what you can do is you can define your workflow to maintain your financial integrity. So for example, the plan which you have created as a projection, it should not go for your stock exchange filing before it goes through a proper approval across all your finance users, your auditors, and you then go through. Then there is a workflow component associated with this Business Objects Edge planning and consolidation tool, which protects that financial integrity across. So the whole stack or 9 yards of capabilities which is offered with this tool is one, it can help in your business planning. Second, it can help in your forecasting and modeling. It can, if you're on a merger or acquisition, or if you run business systems across financial systems across different regions, it can do currency conversion, management roll-ups, legal consolidation, intercompany eliminations, and finally, financial ad hoc query and reporting and analysis is also supported with this tool. So the key features are, it works with tools which you use day in and day out. It works with Word, PowerPoint, Web, Excel. It's process-centric. It has automated workflows and notifications. It also has forward-looking capabilities to do trending and forecasting, and it is an all-in-one tool. So you don't need to buy a separate tool for planning. You don't need to buy a separate tool for consolidation, or you don't need to invest in a separate tool for forecasting or modeling. It all comes across in one particular stack. So why the Edge series is a differentiator is because it fits the way your employees work. They don't have a big learning curve. It fits your IT experience and preferences. It knows the way you do business and complies across. It applies to your budgets and timelines, and it is also expandable to your future growth plans. Why do we say it fits the way your employees work? It's simple and intuitive. You can use web-based tools. If you notice, when I created the report, I didn't know from which table that data is coming in or from which source it comes in across. It's a simple drag and drop user interface using which the tools can be used. Now, these tools can be used over the web. These are searchable. It can work across mobile devices. It can work with Office. And it offers the complete whole 9 yards of operational reporting, dashboards, visualizations, search, ad hoc query, and as well as analysis. It's easy to deploy. For IT, if IT needs to introduce this tool into your environment, it's a simple click-through installation process. It works across standard technologies like J2EE, Tomcat, or be a WebLogic application server, and any standard database package. Is based upon an open-ended architecture, because of which it supports both stuff which is specific to the Microsoft world and the non-packaged world, as well as the packaged world like that of SAP, JD Edwards, and other tools. The Edge series is designed for small and medium business. So it minimizes the IT involvement in administration, creation, and installation. It tailors to meet your unique needs such that there need not be a huge investment which you need to do like a traditional BI approach in order to get up and running. What is also good along with this is that the Business Objects offers quick start packs which are specific to that of industry, and we in YASH as a company specialize on those kind of quick start packs. For example, there are quick start packs for the high-tech manufacturing, there are quick start packs for the chemical industry, there is a quick start pack again for the IT services business itself, and it comes with pre-built contents in terms of reports, dashboards for your industry and line of business. It's well packaged in terms of a cost of ownership. It's not like if I need to do all this, you have to pay one hefty fee for all the product together. So if your information delivery for one application is your priority, you can start with the standard version of Business Objects and then keep accelerating to professional and then go for your planning model. It's very aggressively priced in order to suit for your mid-sized organization's budget constraints. And as we said, not only because of licensing, even the deployment, you can start small and expanding bigger. So you can seed business intelligence for your, let's say, for building dashboards for your operational users and go upwards, or you can also take the plan of going the other way around, where you actually start building the reports and dashboards for your senior level users and going down. And the other concern which users come back is, hey, either of this route which we take, is it going to take us a long time in order to get the entire stack rolled out? The answer is no. We have worked with businesses where we have gone lights on business intelligence as early as 6 to 8 weeks, and we have covered the entire enterprise, again, as early as 4 to 5 months. What do we offer, and what is how does the value of YASH and Business Objects coming together partner for client success? Business Objects is the #1 in terms of total BI revenues in the world. It has close to 90,000 customers with 75,000 on-demand subscribers. It offers dashboarding, quality, delivery, and broad industry presence across. When combined with YASH, we have a specialized dedicated Business Objects Center of Excellence with over a 70 people workforce worldwide, and we have the vertical and domain expertise combined with delivering BI solutions. The solutions which we have offered using Business Objects has been scalable and customizable to a large set of users, and we combine best of the ERP skill sets which we have with our SAP practice along with our business intelligence practice with Business Objects to deliver the maximum value for consolidating financial data from multiple source systems. That's one of our sweet spots. We know financial reporting with ERPs and third-party systems really well. And our delivery models are globally distributed. We are a 2,000 people company worldwide, so we offer end-to-end capability, extending it to that of not only building and getting your lights on BI, but doing the ongoing maintenance which is required for your environment as well. This is the whole 9 yards of business intelligence solution which can add value for your decision making, right from corporate strategy to that of human resources. And this is this complete spectrum which we cover as an organization. We offer budgeting and planning. We offer forecasting and modeling. We do reporting, scorecarding, and dashboarding. and we also do across your standard maintenance of your business intelligence infrastructure. So we do the whole 9 yards of actually building the strategy for your business intelligence, actually implementing it, managing the change which it occurs along with it, and optimizing the performance overall. So I hope we are on time and we are open to questions at this point of time.
Thank you, Sriram. That was an excellent presentation. As you know, at this time, we will have a question and answer session. If you do have a question, on the right-hand console, you can type in a question and we can answer them as they come in. I already have a few questions, Sriram, so I'm going to list off one at a time. One of the questions is, do you need an SAP ERP system in order to run Business Objects?
The answer is no. Business Objects as a software is completely ERP agnostic. Even if so if you don't use an ERP, or if you use an ERP other than that of SAP, or if you use any legacy systems in your enterprise, all this doesn't matter. Business Objects works completely independent of your data layer. So it can connect across any number of different sources and work across, and it's absolutely not mandatory to use SAP as your ERP in order to do Business Objects.
Okay. Another question, which is probably a follow-up, which is similar, is we'd like to complement business intelligence with our familiar desktop tools, such as Microsoft Office, and is it possible to integrate Business Objects with desktop tools such as Excel?
Business Objects built in many of the tools which you are seeing here, or what we demonstrated, is integrated with Excel. For example, the report which I created using Web Intelligence, you can export it to Excel offline and slice and dice with it. You can use, for creating the dashboards, you can use Excel as an editor. For creating your budgets and plans and consolidation, you can use Excel as an editor. And as we demonstrated it across, most of the dashboards which you viewed across, we actually embedded them into PowerPoint. The reason being is that the user should not have the complexity to go across to a different tool to demonstrate it across. You can use it just about with anything which you use day in and day out.
Okay. One of the other questions is, we have an organization that expanded through acquisition, and as a result, you have multitudes of applications and data sources. So how do other organizations manage this challenge of data complexity to a large number of data sources?
There are two portions of it. One is you would need, from a technology perspective, you would need, as I said, the access, transform, improve, deliver kind of a tool. I wouldn't want to call it an ETL tool, but an access, transform, improve, and deliver data kind of a tool, just like the way Business Objects offer. So you would need an information integration platform, which is what the Business Objects data management and data quality management offers for you. Along with this, one thing which is going to be important is that you need to have your metadata model for the enterprise in place. You need to know what KPIs are required for my enterprise to monitor their business intelligence. Second, in order to get those KPIs, what is the kind of master data or the data which I need in my data warehouse? Third is to know the sources from where which I'm going to pick it up. Fourth is how do I want to normalize, transform, and harmonize the data to make it available. So in combination with the tool, and that's where YASH as a company helps out most of our customers, is that identify what is the integration strategy and take it from there and implement it across. That's how you achieve this goal.
Thank you, Sriram. One more question. What is the maximum number of users permitted in Edge, and how is this product priced? Is it by size of the data or number of users? I can answer the second question. The product is priced by number of licensed users. And why don't you answer the first question, Sriram, which is what is the maximum number of users permitted in Edge?
There is no physical limit per se in the Edge series of product on the maximum number of limit. While it has been targeted and priced across this one, I don't know from a licensing perspective, but from a technology perspective, in theory, we have not seen any limits. It has stretched across probably even to thousands of users. But correct me if I'm wrong, John, from a licensing perspective, I don't know how does it work, so you might want to answer that. But from a physical perspective, there is no turned-on limit in which it's restricted.
Going good?
Yes, I believe for the small to medium businesses, 50 is the license. It's called 50 CAL, which is concurrent access license, essentially 50 parking spots, and then an additional number of named users. If you have more than that, Then it becomes an enterprise-level product, which is priced a little bit different and more for the medium to upper mid-market from $300 million and above. But $300 million and below, the maximum is 50 licensed users, along with another, I think, 250 named users. So it's very difficult to grow out of that if you're a small to medium business. Hope that answers your question, BJ.
Yeah.
I don't see any further questions, Sriram. I'd like to thank everyone once again. My name is John Iacomides, Sales Executive in the Boston area. Should you have any further questions, you can email me or call me. We will also have this available as a recorded webinar on our website at www.yash.com. I do thank all of you for coming, and stay tuned. We will be having a series of these business intelligence webinars. Hopefully the next one will be in November. Thank you very much for your time, all.